Welcome. Welcome to ZitaZoo's channel. Today we're going to speak about how we always take one more step. I think that is the most usual question I get. How I always manage to go up and do it over and over again. Because you see, I have a clear vision of what I want, what I need, what I believe, but it hasn't always been like that. So when the fight were as the biggest in my life, I needed to make a step list, or call it blueprint if you want, and always have a way to lifting myself to go up. I have learned the hard way these years that sometimes you're just going down, and I have also learned the hard way that the healing process is something that we are sitting in for very, very long time. I would say the whole life. And sometimes it's ups and sometimes it's downs. So I created a step-by-step process in me that always gonna lift me up again when I feel down, when I get sad, when I don't know where to go. So in this little time we have together now, we're going to go through step by step how to lift ourselves when we are feeling down. And this way you can use over and over again. Starting every month, every new month, by setting one goal or something that you want to achieve this month. This goal is very important because this goal is the one thing you will work on every time you feel that you are going down. You'll be brought down on some kind of way. Because you have to have something to reach for. When you are in the rock bottom, and we all go there, if we are in a healing journey and we're healing trauma, we're healing things that is hard to get into, but there is there in the back of the head. And if we're feeling the feeling of that we don't have the energy to be able to do things, or if somebody have said something or we have read something on social media, all those things that can get the low standard of the mind, the low energy. And this goal you are putting up for yourself this month, and that is the goal that we can work with. That is the goal we can remind ourselves to do. And I want to give you an extra bonus here, because you see, I have learned that the first period of time you do this, say for 1, 2, 3 months ahead, you're going to set a goal of something you really, really like, something you really, really turning on. And it's going to make it easier to go to always bringing yourself up. So set a goal for yourself of something you really, really like. And it doesn't have to be a big goal. It can be a small one. For instance, if you like good food and you know you're gonna eat something good on Saturday in front of the TV or a movie or something, set a goal to do something you really, really want to have. And if you are like I have been, you don't have those kind of money that can buy things, then the goal will be to always have something over so you can buy that thing. Like, I love sushi, and I love to do sushi myself, and it's costing a bit. So one of my goals I know have been, I always gonna have the last day. This I lived with a goal of for many years. I think I did this for almost 3 years. I put the goal up to always the day before I got money, I always gonna eat something very good, and often it was sushi because I love sushi, or shrimps, or something that is a little bit more expensive, a good cheese or something that is not the cheapest thing in the world. And I always did it. As I said, I think I did this in 3 years, and the goal was always to have those money so I could buy it. And when I still had my family with me, I always had the goal to do it with every one of them. So it doesn't have to be a big one, just a goal that you feeling good for, that you can work for, something to put you in a good mood so you can bring yourself up and always know that this one I can have, this one I can do, this one I can manage, and it's gonna bring me forward, and I'm gonna achieve what I want. So, one goal, set one goal. Now we're coming to the next step, and the next step I call the warm up, and you have to do this twice a day. We start with the evening, so we're gonna get it a little bit upside down here, because in the evening I want you to think of the most funniest thing you have been through this day. And it can be a small thing, or it can be a good thing. I mean, it can be like if you met somebody that smiled to you, and I want you to remember that. Remember that feeling, how good it felt. Or if somebody pranked somebody, if you saw something on internet that you feel that you could laugh about really much. If we say like this, when I was the most down and my anxiety was the highest, I used to take up Instagram and I was looking at reels, and many of those reels that had dogs or cats or things like that, it was pretty funny videos, funny reels. And some of them I could laugh so the tear was pouring out of me because I thought it was so fun. It doesn't have to be something very big. It can be just one funny thing that happened to you, that you saw, that you heard, that you something that you went through the day. And I want you to give yourself permission to laugh. Really laugh, no matter how it sounds, no matter how it looks. Just give yourself permission to laugh. And that happy feeling that the laugh gives you, I want you to fall asleep with that. Because you see, when we do that, we create an emotion of better feelings. We create an emotion of positivity, and that positivity the body needs, the mind needs. So we always can feel good, and no one is always feeling good. I want to remind about that, because that's the way it is. We are a race of, and with race I mean the humans, of having negativity in our mind, and we're always going to be put back to that negativity, not because we want, because that is how our mind works. And we need to give ourselves permission to be positive, and to laugh is to have the feeling of positivity. And when you do that, when you laugh, you open your heart space and you give yourself permission to feel that good feeling. And when you fall asleep with that, it's going to follow you all through the sleep. It's a lot of doctors and things like that who has been working on to prove this. And in the morning when you wake up, I want you to remind yourself of that feeling you had when you fall asleep, of that thing you were laughing about that grounded feeling of positivity, of happiness. And I want you to remind yourself of that. And I want you to start laughing, to give yourself permission to laugh at the morning, because then you are grounding yourself with that positivity, and you can use that feeling over the day to come back to that state, to that energy state of happiness, of laughing to happiness. So always go through that at the evening. And if you have had a day who has been rough and been hard, and then I suggest that you go out and look up something that you can laugh about. You can see something, as I said, on Reels or on TikTok, or so instead of using social media for complaining and giving bad things, use it to your own advantage, to gain those funny things. Only look at those funny things that can help you to bring you to a positive state of mind. So good luck. Now I'm gonna come with a heads up, because you see, life is ups and downs. You're always gonna have them. And some days are gonna be better and some days are gonna be worse. And we just need to learn to live with it. If we don't learn to live with it, it's gonna be pain. And that pain we need to go away. So if we can head to a middle ground where we can be in line with knowing how to handle the downs, so we can go up when we need to go up. That's why it's so important that we find a way that works for ourselves. I can't say that my way, the way you just have seen, is going to work for you. But what I can say is that if you try it out and then you make it to your own, put in things you want to have in it and things that you can stand behind, then it's going to be just great. You have to experiment with it, and you have to try somewhere, and you have to begin somewhere. It's always better to try something and not doing it at all. So ups and downs, they are there, but also very important to remember, ups and downs always have a knowledge. They always teaching us something. And sometimes when we have them, it is a lesson in them, a lesson that we need to learn, a lesson that we need to bring with us to the future. We can't live in the past. We can't live in the future. We can only live in the present. But if we're going to live in the present, we need to take those things in the past, and we have to take those lessons and we have to learn from them. And to go on and to build the future, to build and to design you the way you want to be, then the ups and downs need to be there for us to learn what we're going to go in the future. So the tools I have provided you today, that has been my way to always go on. And if you can test it, if you can build it out to be your own, in the way you want to have it, it's just great. Nothing is wrong. And it is what you make it to be. So I hope you have some goods of this, and I hope you the best. And we see and hear from each other again. You have listened to ZitaZoo channel, and I wish you the best. And if you haven't heard this today, I love you so much. You are a part of the world I'm living in, and I need you. I need your energy. So please do everything you can to feel good. So over and out. Hear from you again. Bye bye.